IGN's next big game brings fans inside the biggest video games of the year. Today's episode is all about Star Wars Battlefront II. We'll tell you everything you need to know and give you a behind-the-scenes look at the next Star Wars adventure. I'm Max Scoville, and this is Next Big Game. Star Wars has been a global media sensation for over 40 years, and it's showing no sign of slowing down. And while there's been no shortage of video games set in that galaxy far, far away, Star Wars Battlefront II is probably the most impressive one to date. Today, we'll let you in on everything you need to know about Star Wars Battlefront II and give you a behind-the-scenes look at the star of the single-player campaign, Iden Versio. The last Battlefront game managed to drop at the exact perfect time, a month before the release of The Force Awakens, when Star Wars hype was at a record high. Now, Battlefront 2 is striking yet again while the iron's hot, just a few weeks before The Last Jedi hits theaters, and it looks like the new game is building extensively from the groundwork laid by the first, as well as telling a brand new story in the Star Wars galaxy.
The Emperor is dead.
Here's a quick primer on everything you need to know about Star Wars Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront II takes us back to that galaxy far, far away, but this time there's a full campaign and new characters, ships, and locations from every Star Wars trilogy. Oh, and hopefully porgs. While the first Battlefront featured missions that could be played alone, Battlefront 2 has a complete original campaign that picks up immediately after Return of the Jedi and leads up to the events of Episode 7. Players take on the role of Iden Versio, a member of the Empire's elite Inferno squad, on a journey through the Empire's final desperate hour.
Look alive, agents. We can grieve later.
Battlefront 2's suite of multiplayer options, including both on-ground and space battles, will support up to 40 players in certain modes, with content spanning the entire Star Wars saga. Starfighter Assault will see teams of players competing in multi-stage battles with class-based dogfights. The only map revealed so far is the Battle of Fondor, in which rebels lead an attack on a docked Star Destroyer. In addition to the standard classes of ships like X-Wings and TIE Fighters, players can also control hero ships, iconic vehicles from Star Wars history. But unlike the first Battlefront, ships like the Millennium Falcon or Slave One aren't tied to tokens picked up in the world. Instead, players will gain access with battle points, which are earned via completed objectives or enemy kills. Galactic Assault, meanwhile, is the familiar first or third-person Battlefront gunplay, with a variety of locations confirmed, including Theed and Kashyyyk. Players will take on the role of a customizable character from one of 4 classes. Officers offer support, specialists use traps and long-range weapons, assault class characters are good with close to mid-range combat, and heavies can withstand plenty of firepower. By earning battle points for objective completion and kills, players can upgrade their classes in every match, earning land-based vehicles like the AAT or Super Battle Droid. Like with hero ships and Starfighter Assault, hero characters will be obtainable in combat. Announced heroes so far are Luke Skywalker, Boba Fett, Yoda, Rey, Darth Maul, Han Solo, Chewbacca, Kylo Ren, Finn, Captain Phasma, and several more yet to be announced. Some of these characters will come via DLC for Battlefront 2, but fear not, you won't have to pay for any of the sequel's major downloadable add-ons. Rather than offer a season pass, EA will be releasing themed seasons of free DLC, with the first batch set to come in December, centered around Star Wars The Last Jedi. Star Wars Battlefront 2 launches worldwide on November 17th for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Give us everything we got!
They don't let just anyone behind closed doors to get a look at a brand new Star Wars game, but we used our Jedi mind tricks to convince the good folks at EA development studio Motive to shed further light on the project and give you a behind-the-scenes look at the long-awaited single-player campaign.
Right on time.
Battlefront 2 has a single-player campaign that gamers have been waiting to experience since the first Battlefront came out a few years ago.
Battlefront 1, it kind of captured the galactic Civil War era, the classic era of fantasy. Being on Hoth and being part of War for Souls, even as early as the beta, it was just mind-blowing, like living that fantasy in a game.
This was our opportunity to tell a story within the Star Wars universe that was authentic. And we knew that we wanted to fill in some of that gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, because there's a 30-year period of what's going on there that we haven't seen in the films. We've developed the story of Iden Versio, the commander of Inferno Squad, which is the Empire's elite unit created in response to the first destruction of the Death Star. It's a pretty exciting story.
Impossible.
Iden Versio is a hero of the Empire. This is a woman who is driven by her belief of what the Empire is. And she believes the Empire is something good. She knows what the Clone Wars did to the galaxy and the ruin that it left all across planets and systems, and sees the Empire as something that came in and brought peace.
It was all about the idea of seeing familiar events from an unfamiliar perspective, right? Because we didn't want to tread the same ground that the movies had done. The Empire is really only explored as this kind of dehumanized, everyone always in helmets, kind of the faceless enemy, and they're not really explored as characters.
In the Empire, we've seen the Emperor, Darth Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, these people at the top. We've never really experienced the Empire from in the middle or from at the bottom. We don't know what it's like to actually believe in what the Empire is as a force for good. And so Iden coming in as the commander of Inferno Squad, she's the Luke Skywalker of the Empire. She is the Jyn Erso. She is that person that the Empire could put on a poster and say, don't worry, Iden Versio is out there.
Grab onto something! I'm trying!
When you think about all of the stuff that we've consumed about Star Wars over the years, we have been trained that people in Stormtrooper armor, they are bad. People dressed as rebels, they are good. And now we're flipping the table on that. And there are some people who sit down and play for the first time where they have their emotional reaction of, this feels off, this is not what I'm accustomed to. In that way, like, it's great because you want your audience to have that kind of an emotional reaction. But it's about finding that kind of human drive that we can all relate to, regardless of how we already feel about the Empire or about the Rebellion.
Here I go!
Patrol neutralized.
We weren't telling a story about Jedis. It's really just about a soldier inside the Empire and what that experience is like.
Since the first Battlefront came out, this is something that players have wanted. They wanted this Battlefront narrative experience, and getting to be part of the team that brought that to life, it's very, very exciting.
It's fascinating to be able to step inside that world as a creator and not just a fan. It's pretty powerful.
3, 2, 1.
Star Wars Battlefront II hits PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on November 17th, and if you want more info on Battlefront and the rest of the ever-expanding Star Wars galaxy, head over to IGN. Be sure to follow Next Big Game on Facebook and share this episode with your friends. Next week is all about one of the most anticipated games of 2018, Dragon Ball FighterZ, and we've even got an exclusive world premiere reveal of not one, but 2 new characters. In the meantime, be sure to check out our previous episodes on Super Mario Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Origins. Until next time, I'm Max Scoville, and this is Next Big Game.